Thank you, councillors. We are now ready to begin. If you can settle down, councillors, thank you. We are now ready to start. Please ask all your caucus. We are now ready to.
It's a long stuff to.
It's fine. You want to sit
My
down?
things are scattered around.
Oh, okay. No, it's fine.
Just ask them if they can just switch off.
Councillors, if you can switch off your mics. Whoever has the mic on. Okay, there you go.
Councillors, Secretary to Council. Council has resolved that the city may consider the prospect of appointing Ms. Shopping to act in an appropriate, alternative, and vacant position. Recommendations to item 20 were also that when discussions between the city manager and Ms. Shopping are concluded, a report must be brought to council to appraise council on the final outcome and for council to note. An additional recommendation as well was that the matter that refer the incurred irregular expenditure and wasteful expenditure to be investigated by MPAC for possible recovery from implicated officials in terms of section 2 subsection 2 of the MFMA. Then on item 21 is the report on investigation on the alleged misconduct against the group head legal and contracts resulting from retrospective conversion of employment status of 5 employees who were initially employed in the private office of the executive mayor. And the resolutions?
I said I noted you. We'll come back to you. It doesn't matter. We'll go back to it. Please proceed.
All right. And the recommendation to that item is that council notes the content of the outcome of the investigation report. Secondly, council authorized the city manager to implement disciplinary action against the group head legal and contracts in line with the investigation report. And recommendation 3 that authorizes the city manager to place the incumbent in a different position within the city during the disciplinary process. Then on item 22, which is Aubrey Muchele, a review matter. The recommendations are that council rescinds the decision taken on the council resolution on the 22nd and 23rd of June 2022, and also another recommendation that council authorizes the city manager to instruct the attorneys to withdraw the review application and to reinstate Mr. Muchele with immediate effect and negotiate the matter of legal costs. On item 23, the development of the register of financial interest of councillors for 2021-22 financial year. The first recommendation is that council takes cognizance of the events discussed in paragraph 6 above and the impact they have had on the timely compilation of the register of financial interest of councillors. And the second recommendation that council grants condonation for the late submission of the provisional 2021-22 register for financial interest of councillors by the Office of the Integrity Commissioner. On item 24, item 24 is a report in terms of Rule 64, subsection 3 of the standing rules regarding the review of evidence misleading decisions of the MACOM that obstructed the council from appointing the city manager with false, invalid, cleared and rejected vetting claims, which is almost submitted to mitigate further concealment and tampering with incriminating evidence. And the recommendations are that Council notes the tabling of this report is supported by Rule 1, subsection 4 of the Standing Rules, and is tabled in accordance with the obligations of the Speaker to report matters that are brought to her and the Council in terms of Section 5, subsection 1A, Roman 2 of the Municipal Systems Act. And recommendation 2, that Council consider the evidence in the report which points to improper and unlawful conduct and take the remedial action in accordance with confirmed powers and authorities of Council, which are stated at paragraph 3.2.1 and 3.2.5 above as follows. 2.1. Refer the reported evidence on alleged improper and unlawful conduct related to Councillor M. Palatse and Councillor L. North to the Ethics and Disciplinary Committee for an investigation in terms of Section 13 of the Code of Conduct for Councillors. 2.2, to authorize an appointment of an independent investigator to investigate the reported evidence on alleged improper and unlawful conduct of Mr. M. Mariatti, Mr. S. Bia, Dr. H. Laboshkhani, and Ms. L. Govender in terms of Rule 5, subsection 3 of the Disciplinary Regulation for senior managers. 2.3, to refer the reported evidence of the incurred irregular, fruitless, and wasteful expenditure to be investigated by the MPEC for a possible recovery from implicated officials and councillors in terms of Section 32, subsection 2 of the MFMA. In 2.4, that Council rescinds the resolution dated 5th of August 2022 to re-advertise the position of the City Manager, and Council authorize the Executive Mayor to apply corrective measures pertaining to the recruitment process of the City Manager, Mr. Brink, as a matter of agency. And minutes of the in-committee of the 6th were approved with corrections.
Thank you, Secretary. Councillor Christians.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, I would rise on Rule 84, and I will take you through the reasoning for that. May I continue?
Yeah.
Thank you. In terms of Rule 84, item 20, the Democratic Alliance would like the minutes of the proceeding to record its objection to the recommendations on that page, because the additional recommendations were quite substantive and we were not allowed the opportunity to actually have them in writing, and we do not agree with recommendation 2 on that one. In terms of item 21, the Democratic Alliance once again notes its objection in terms of recommendation 3. In terms of item 24, we note our objection because, 1, administrative justice was not properly adhered to. The report itself has fatal flaws in it with annexures that were fabricated, and we believe that in terms of item 2.4, the recommendation is overreaching by the Office of the Speaker. I thank you.
Thank you. Councillors, it is late in the day. I would like us to deal with item 2, MMC Finance. If you can take us through item 2, then we'll adjourn the meeting and defer all other items to the ordinary council meeting tomorrow. So we are now going to deal with item 2, which was already tabled. MMC Finance, if you're ready to deal with that, let's conclude with that. Then we can adjourn this meeting.
Speaker, we have
MMC
submitted.
Finance, there's a hand. Can I take it? Yes. Please just pass your in-committee reports to the end of your table. You don't need to stand up. Just pass them through one member at a time. Thank you so much. Councillor Shkei, you have something to say?
Speaker, I will be writing to you with grave concern because over the last couple of meetings, we've seen a massive increase in sexist, homophobic, and anti-Semitic remarks in this chamber. And it is a statement on your leadership of this chamber that these remarks are increasing. So I'll be writing to you on it. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll be expecting your letter. MMC Finance, please proceed.
Thank you, Speaker. As agreed earlier, we did submit the replacement report, which covers the issues that were raised by councillors in the chamber. Thanks, Speaker.
Councillors, the recommendations for item 2 are on page 2.3. Is the item agreed to? Councillors that agree with the recommendations, kindly raise your hands. Councillors that agree with recommendations 2.3, kindly raise your hands. Legal, if you can assist us to count, thank you. Councillors that are standing, please sit down. We are voting. Kindly sit down. We are voting. There are councillors that agree with recommendations 2.3. Their hands are up. Thank you. Thank you, councillors. You can lower your hands. Thank you. You can lower your hands. May I ask the councillors that are not in favor of the report, councillors saying no, please raise your hands. Thank you, councillors. You can lower your hands. Thank you. You can lower your hands. Councillors that are abstaining from the vote. Councillors abstaining. 2. Thank you. Thank you, councillors. The voting on item 2 is as follows. The yeses, those in favor of the report, 147. The noes, those that are not in favor, 95, and abstained, 2. Therefore, the report has passed and the item is agreed to. Thank you. Councillor Skay.
Speaker, we just wanted to place on the record that, under Rule 84, that bringing this new report to council and not allowing a substantive debate on the item when we debated on
Councillor,
the
we've
placeholder item.
debated the item.
No.
We're not going to go there now. Sit down. Sit down. No. I'm officially adjourning this meeting. We shall meet tomorrow, 10 o'clock, at the ordinary meeting. Thank you very much.